Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome. Thanks for joining us for this special edition where we'll talk today about several points that have been highlighted in or on the last U.S. Department report about the investment climate in Algeria for 2023. We noticed positive, encouraging milestones and also certain area of improvement. And to talk further about this, we have our guest IDIR SACI, expert in banking and economic compliance. Hello and good evening. How are you?
I'm good, and how about you, Sana?
I'm fine, thanks. So the report about or stated by the country potentials like market size, natural resources. Can you share your comment?
My comment is, this report is highlighting what we all know about the country potential. Algeria is important country potential because not only about the natural resources, but we are reaching 45 millions about population. We have an important domestic market, and it's a consumer domestic market. It's not only about population, because we have in Algeria, as you know, a strong social politic, which means the people they have access to certain products like medications. It's a huge public programs for infrastructures, housing, etc., which means we are still an important market. Plus, we are now in the region that, we are the most stable country in the region. Stable because of the country is strongly stable from politically point of view, but because of the reforms, deep reforms that started a few years ago. And the geopolitical position of the country, we are the bridge, we are kind of a bridge. Historically, Algeria is kind of bridge between Europe and Africa. The perception of African for Algeria, we are this bridge to Europe, but also the European, they can see us, or other, Asia and other countries in the world, they are seeing us as a bridge to Africa. This position is potentially a very key for investment decision. If someone needs to create a kind of platform to access for Sahel market, for example, African market, Sub-Sahara market, and also to Europe. Because of energy, because of population, we have an educated population. And we have a lot of programs that we can develop further.
Discuss further. Yes, so the Algerian government has implemented various policies and reforms to attract foreign investment and consolidate a stable regulatory environment for business. They have simplified administrative procedures, introduced tax incentives, and work on the establishment of economic or special economic zones to facilitate business operations. So, being a middle-income country, does it affect the investment climate in Algeria?
Yes, of course. When we make a decision to invest somewhere, incomes of a country is a key. We have to evaluate the capability of this country to be, to pay tomorrow the invoices. Being secured in financially talking. Okay, Algeria should be not considered only with this criteria. Why? The country has zero foreign debt. Okay, of course we know that internally we should.
This is a huge point.
It is definitely. Yeah. Internally, we know all that there is something to do internally to reform our internal, domestic expense, etc., which is common. I think reforms is milestones, steps, and we are going there definitely. But the first consideration means that Algeria has a capacity to build a strong economy by her own capacities. Plus, this country is bankable. Tomorrow, if we need, get money from market, it's not a problem. We are a bankable country. Because of our security, because of our natural resources, because of our market size, and because of the stability of the country, which is, I think, in terms of rating, this point is important. Considering market potential, but considering also a country capacities in terms of to get capitals to the country.
And speaking about banking, let's talk shortly about the implementation of the new bank in Senegal.
Yeah, Algeria is trying to facilitate the access of the geographic area possibilities, because the Algerian country is looking now to export, to diversify the economy, because we are extractive industry, which is oil and gas, but we are diversifying, and we are seeing the result this year of this the efforts of diversification to go to those countries with our operators or partners. We should have our own banking present there. But anyway, this is just the first experience because our banking system actually is not totally. It's important. We have international banks in Algeria. I mean, Americans, British, and Arabic, etc. We have a presence of multinational banking, which means the banks in Algeria, they have also their presence abroad. Those branches are public branches for the aim to get starting the presence of Algerian banks there. But we are expecting other reforms that will facilitate this presence because of they need to give more flexibility and competitiveness for those branches abroad, also in Africa, by thinking on, for example, offshore banking area here in Algeria, because as you know, the government start working on the offshore production zone for to the aim to get those markets which are Sahel region and others, which is we are looking to create platforms, and platforms means you have to get your banking also with you.
Yeah, so another question about this. Saying that, what opportunities exist for foreign investors in Algeria?
Definitely, everything is open. We are a big market. We are the biggest market in the region. When I say big market, is not only about FMCGs, is not vanilla consumers. We are a big market for pharma. Pharma is a key. It's not something, and on pharma, for example, we have a strong public politics, that are paying for drugs, for patient access to medications. But there are some, investment that should be done, which is, for example, patient journey, because we have no we have to work on our infrastructures, hospitals, which mean there is big opportunity to invest on hospitals, for example. You can think on the industry, all the industries, the transformation industries. The industries linked with agriculture is huge because of the market, but because of what's happening now in agriculture in Algeria. Water is available in the south, lands are big, and even the state, Algerian state, they can bring you electricity, they can give you the lands for free. Which is not something
that is used to
exactly. It's very important.
Else.
We have infrastructures. We have, the agriculture area in the south of Algeria, for example. You have roads, you have ports, you have plants, which is important. Then, I think the opportunities in all area. Algeria is a secret Mediterranean country for tourism, for example. We can culturally we are the second Roman archaeological site after Italy, which is a very important potential. We have Sahara Desert, which is also very interesting. Culturally, also Algeria is an interesting country. We can open the investment opportunities on tourism, and I think the opportunities are definitely huge. Algeria is kind of continent.
It's a continent, yeah.
Exactly. That can.
And it's the biggest country in Africa.
It is, but by climate, by culture, by a lot of specifications of the country, people, they will discover something very different. Okay, in the heart of Mediterranean, which is not negligible. Then, I think also the extractive industry, which is oil and gas, and transformation behind the oil and gas is also a big potential for investment in Algeria. We have a banking sector, finance and banking sector is also important. The law just approved and we are waiting for the application text coming next week, I think, according to the official declarations. Banking is still a market which is on the grow, because of the need of the local retail banking or even the structured investment. The new law is talking about the business banking, which is specialized capital banking, which is new in Algeria. The area of agriculture, energy, it's a huge. Okay.
Let's talk now about another last statement. So the State Department report stated also that the Algerian economy is dominated by public sector, saying that the private sector can play a major role in the economic future of the country. So what's your comment?
Definitely. Because of the history of Algeria, we have strong public sector. Okay. The challenge now is how to give to the private sector more area where they can play and to balance between both sectors, because big countries like China, they have strong public sector, but also they have a private sector. Is the financing access should be more flexible for the private, because no banks, sometimes they are asking for a lot of guarantees, etc., which is sometimes can be a challenge for the private sector. But definitely big private firms, they can think on PPPs, which is public-private programs. With the public companies, we heard about a big public bank that is coming to be private. The mechanism of doing that is still on discussion, but definitely for international firms in agriculture, in oil and gas, in FMCGs, in pharma, I mean, it's still strategic area for Algerian government. But being in the program with Algerian Algerian authority as a partner is a pros, is not a cons, because having Algeria on my files means for me I can go everywhere and get loans, and I have a credibility, because Algeria on the hand of a banker is not something. It's a wealthy consideration that the investor have to consider. Having Algeria in your portfolio, it is a pros. It is a very important because of bankability. I mean, to access to financing, but because of stability, because of the market potential also.
So, as an expert in finance, you can tell us that the banking sector or file is thriving. It is thriving. It is going forward.
It is going forward, but we think that because the Algerian government made deep new regulations, we are waiting for a new breath, because applicable text, even for banking, investment, etc., is the most important, is the most challenging part. You know, this report talks also about the risk of bribery, but we know all that Algerian government is doing a huge effort fighting against this unfair crime.
So thank you, IDIR, for your answers. We achieved by this the end of this special edition. It was with IDIR SACI. I recall he is an expert in banking and economic compliance. We talked about the last report or the last US report about the investment climate in Algeria. Thanks for watching.